I quit my job of 6 years just to prove to senior management how useless and incompetent my manager was, and it worked. I started working at this warehouse back in 2017. Just a part-time worker moving boxes and loading trucks, nothing special. But over the next few years, I worked my way up to transport admin, then management. By 2020, me and my coworker Danny basically ran the entire department by ourselves. We handled everything: schedules, routes, problems, paperwork, all of it. Our manager at the time was this chill guy named Steve who trusted us completely. He'd check in maybe once a week just to make sure we didn't need anything, but other than that, we were good. It was honestly the best job I ever had. Sure, some days were stressful when trucks broke down or drivers called in sick, but Danny and I had it handled. We knew what we were doing. Then in 2021, the company decided to restructure everything. They moved Steve to a different department and brought in this new guy named Marcus to manage just our department. Just us two. We didn't need a full-time manager breathing down our necks, but whatever. We figured we'd give him a chance. Marcus turned out to be the worst boss I've ever had in my life. He was a total control freak about everything. Had to approve every little decision we made, even stuff we'd been doing on our own for years. But here's the weird part. He'd be super supportive and nice one day, then turn into a complete bully the next. Like, he loved making fun of the fact that I got in a car accident the year before. He'd bring it up in meetings in front of other people. Oh, maybe we shouldn't let him handle that. He might crash into something. Everyone would laugh nervously while I sat there fuming. He also had this thing where he'd only give me the worst jobs. Cleaning out the warehouse in the summer when it was like 100 degrees, dealing with the angry drivers who complained about everything. Meanwhile, his other staff members would be sitting around doing nothing. Then in March this year, my girlfriend started having complications with her pregnancy. She ended up giving birth to our son 6 weeks early. It was terrifying. He was in the NICU for days. I had to take 3 weeks off work to be with them. When I came back, there was this massive pile of work waiting for me. Nobody had covered my stuff while I was gone. Nothing. I spent my first week back just trying to catch up on everything I'd missed. But every time I'd start making progress, Marcus would pull me away to work on some random project. Meanwhile, the other guys in our department were just hanging out in the break room. When my work started running late because I couldn't finish it, Marcus would call me into his office and yell at me about time management. Time management. I was doing his job for him while he sat in meetings all day taking credit for everything we did. Then in May, Marcus made this huge mistake with a shipment. Wrong address, wrong products. The whole thing was a disaster. But when management started asking questions, he blamed me for it. Said I'd entered the information wrong. Complete lie. It caused problems between me and 2 of the drivers I worked with every day. They thought I'd screwed up their routes. Marcus even threatened to write me up for it. That's when something clicked in my brain. Without me, Marcus had nothing. Without me running his department, he wouldn't even have a job. He didn't know how to do anything we did. He couldn't explain to senior management what was going on because he had no idea. I was doing everything on half his salary while he took all the credit. I had one last argument with him about the shipment mistake. The next day, I walked into his office and handed him my notice. 2 weeks. He just stared at it like he couldn't believe what he was reading. The company made me serve 4 weeks instead of 2 for some reason. And watching Marcus during those 4 weeks was hilarious. He had to actually learn what I did every day. All those responsibilities he used to say, I don't even know what you do all day. Now he had to do them himself. He had to deal with the angry drivers. He had to fix the routing problems. He had to do the paperwork and the schedules and all the horrible jobs he used to dump on me. He looked stressed out of his mind. On my last day, I told Danny, give him 3 months. He's either going to quit or get fired. Danny laughed and said I was being too generous. 2 weeks after I left, the department failed their monthly audit. First time that had ever happened. Company directors got involved and started investigating what was going wrong. A month later, I was on vacation at the beach when my phone started blowing up. It was one of the senior managers calling and texting me asking for passwords to different systems. Apparently, Marcus had gone on vacation and hadn't organized anything before he left. Nobody could access what they needed. I ignored every message. I didn't work there anymore. Not my problem. Then Marcus kept making more mistakes. He forgot to order essential supplies. Trucks sat empty because he didn't schedule drivers properly. The whole department was falling apart. 3 months after I quit, I got a text from Danny. Marcus got suspended. They're investigating him. Apparently, senior management finally realized he had no idea how to do his job. A month after that, the company announced Marcus had quit with immediate effect. But Danny told me he was pretty sure they fired him and just called it quitting. Either way, my prediction was right. 3 months without me and Marcus was done. Best decision I ever made. I started my own business doing transport consulting. I work from home. I make more money than I ever did at that warehouse. And I never have to deal with a boss like Marcus ever again.